I bake with it.
Never used it, I've heard of it.
I'm not in yet.
Good evening. It's 5:30. I call the Board of Education meeting to order on Tuesday, February 10th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bobby here? Is she?
She is, she's right in there.
I see her. We welcome everyone to our Board of Education meeting this evening, our monthly meeting, second Tuesday of every month. We're happy that you could join us. If I could have Bobby Brayboy please come forward. Melissa?
Where do you want me to stand or anywhere?
That's a check. You can stand in front of me.
Come my way,
Be okay with me.
Okay, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to stand, but
Anywhere.
hi everyone. My name is Bobby Brayboy. I'm the director of Global City Norwich. And that's a program out of the Norwich Community Development Corporation. We do different cultural events and entrepreneurship programs. And we just started a new program called Project Peace, which stands for Pathways to Economic Advancement and Community Empowerment. And part of what we do there is provide funding to community organizations so that they can execute on their programs. And so today, I am presenting an award to the Norwich Public School System, who submitted an application and was awarded because their programs are, fabulous. And the first program is the Norwich Public Schools Loft program, which provides essential items to the students and their families. And then the second program is going to be 2 play productions. So make sure you get out to those schools to see those. And I would like to present this award to the Norwich Public Schools. And I'm a product of the Norwich Public Schools. You can tell how awesome the system is.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm just gonna add 2 cents into it. You already mentioned that you were a product of Norwich Public Schools and NSA. This is an example of a graduate of the Norwich Public Schools, the Norwich Free Academy, back to the community and doing so many great things. We're happy to be part of it.
I think that's John's way of saying you can change us to John Iavino.
Listen, it's dry erase, so.
I didn't know it was that much. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Sure. 6 marks. Introductions.
Thank you, Mark, who filled out the application.
First item is the approval of minutes from the January 13th regular Board of Education meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of January 13th, 2026.
Motion by Mark. Second?
I'll second that.
A second, Dennis Slopak. Discussion, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. I turn it over to Superintendent Lassard for recognition awards.
Thank you, Mr. Iavino.
No.
I do. All right, we're gonna start with the key is me. Paris Branker, where are you? There she is. All right, Paris was nominated by Sharon Santini. She is a school counselor at Teachers Middle School. Paris Branker consistently makes a meaningful difference in the lives of our students. As a dedicated attendance buddy, she works tirelessly to identify and eliminate barriers that prevent students from coming to school. Paris goes above and beyond to connect students and families with the supports they need, ensuring every child feels seen, supported, and valued. In her role as a school counselor, Ms. Branker brings compassion, expertise, and unwavering commitment to student success. She is a true team player who is always willing to step in wherever she is needed, offering support with a positive attitude and a solution-focused mindset. Her willingness to go the extra mile has a lasting impact on both students and staff. TMMS is incredibly lucky to have Ms. Branker as part of our school community. She is truly deserving of this. All right, I make a difference. Laura Dietrich, come on up. All right, I think everybody knows Laura, but in case you don't, Laura Dietrich is our district nursing supervisor. And she was nominated by Diane Palmer. Laura goes above and beyond as the district's nursing supervisor. She supports students both in school and through home visits as needed. She oversees nursing care throughout the district. She provides essential resources for families and is a respected liaison in our community. Her collaboration with community providers, nurses, teachers, social workers, medical professionals, families, and students is professional and student-centered. Her work ethic is admired, especially when facing challenging situations so that students can get the care they need. She supports the nursing staff and provides strong leadership that allows nurses to provide exceptional care to their students. She is a tireless, and that's truly what you are, a tireless advocate for children, not resting until she finds a solution to ensure that every student can learn and thrive in a safe and supportive environment. She makes schools safer, healthier, and more compassionate places throughout the Norwich Public Schools. All right. Can Adam Torres Quinones come on up? Here he is, the star of the show. So this is from Cassidy Marshall, and I know his fan club is all over here from Stanton. I am honored to nominate Adam for the You Inspire Me Award. He truly inspires me to come to school each and every day through his kindness, perseverance, and vibrant personality. Adam has a kind heart and a wonderfully spicy, I like that, spicy personality. He is well known throughout the school and wherever he goes. He is greeted with smiles and high fives. His presence alone helps create a positive and welcoming school community. Since starting at Stanton last year, Adam has worked incredibly hard and has shown amazing growth academically, socially, and emotionally. He consistently demonstrates effort and determination even when faced with challenges. He will be deeply missed when he moves on to middle school, but the impact he has made will continue to be felt by everyone at Stanton. Adam is a wonderful example of perseverance, positivity, and heart, and he is truly deserving of public recognition through the You Inspire Me.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Okay, now I need help. It's okay.
All right.
Big brother.
Thank you guys. All right, MLK student essays are next. So we're gonna start with Kelly Middle School, and I'm gonna have, when you come up to talk, you can introduce and say your name to everyone, and then you can read your MLK student essays. So we'll start with Ella, start with you, and then the next Kelly, and then we'll go to teachers.
So, my name is Ella Burgess. I'm in 8th grade from Kelly Middle School. Martin Luther King Jr. believed in equality, courage, and standing up for what's right, even when it's against the law. He showed the world that your voice matters no matter how old or where you come from. To me, his legacy means having hope, choosing kindness, and believing that change is possible when people work together for good. Being recognized for this possible college grant opportunity means so much Thank you for honoring Dr. King's legacy, for believing in students like me.
Hello, I'm Jerome Wiley from Kelly Middle School. I'm in the 8th grade. My experience at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. dinner was very inspiring. There were students telling stories on how they were discriminated against or doubted because of what other people saw on the outside. I noticed that they all had people helping them, like a parent or mentor, just like how Dr. King helped others. I've had people help me in my life, like parents, coaches, and teachers. So what I've learned, success doesn't always have a smooth journey, and identity has no limits. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I wish you all success in your own personal journeys.
Maya, from teachers.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must use time creatively in the knowledge that the time is always right to do right." After receiving this recognition and learning more about Dr. King's life and legacy, I was inspired by this quote. It made me realize that now is always the right time to lead by my values, fight for justice and peace, and advocate for those around me. Dr. King showed us that real change does not come from waiting for the perfect moment, but from having the courage to act when it matters most. I want to thank my mother for always believing in me. Through thick and thin, her strength and love have pushed me to be better every day. I also want to thank my father for always giving me courage and hope for peace. His resilience makes me want to continue making a difference. I hope to not only use my voice for myself, but for those who not may always feel heard. In doing so, I aim to honor Dr. King's legacy by turning his words into action and encouraging others to do the same. Thank you for this honor, and may we all choose to do what is right starting today.
And Jimmy?
Good evening. First, I'd like to express my gratitude for this recognition and for the opportunity to speak today. Before writing this speech, I took my time to research Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy. I believe that his life can be captured in a few of the many words that make up his legacy. He says, "The time is always right to do what is right." This is a quote that resonates with conviction as I enter new stages, both academically and in life as a whole. Though I haven't gotten the opportunity to lead mass boycotts or several peaceful protests, I strive to uphold Dr. King's legacy, both in places where I'm called to lead and in daily interactions that may seem insignificant. Now, as I've been chosen for this award, I've given new meaning to Dr. Martin Luther King's words by committing to lead, learn, and persevere to achieve my goals. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank both of my parents for modeling what it means to advocate for others who need it, for modeling what it means to stay disciplined in my goals, values that Dr. King spoke of. Without them, I wouldn't have grown to the person I am now, and because of them, I know who I want to become in the future. This award has given new meaning to the quote, "The time is always right to do what is right." I'm grateful for this opportunity and for the chance to become a Dr. Martin Luther King scholar in the coming years. Thank you.
Well done, students. We thank you. And those were MLK speeches that were read a couple of different times. So they've got them down pretty pat and they did a great job. So we thank you, girls.
Middle school have things.
Now for middle school happenings, we'll start with Kelly Middle School. There we go. I'm not sure who's up.
Hello, my name is Sarah Barnes, representing Student Council from Kelly Middle School. The band and chorus concert was amazing last month. The whole auditorium was filled with family, friends, and staff. Cougar Pride Day will take place tomorrow, February 11th. Students will engage in exciting enrichment activities during their regularly scheduled classes.
Quarter 2 honor roll ceremony will take place tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. We are excited to celebrate academic excellence. 7th grade students had a successful trip to Slater Museum last week. Top students and student council are working diligently on preparing for our fourth school dance that is titled the Lux Masquerades Sneaker Ball to be held February 26. In February, we decreased our chronic absenteeism by almost 3%. The girls and boys basketball teams, along with the cheerleaders, are finishing the season strong. We had a pep rally today to get the teams and fans excited for the doubleheader.
Thank you. Did we win the games? We did win the games. All right, awesome. Teachers Memorial?
Hello, my name is Maya Sousa, representing the Teachers Memorial Middle School. TOPS is hosting the second annual Sneaker Bowl on February 20th. Benefit came to teachers to celebrate the applicants who applied before January 1st with some school apparel. Our annual Staff First Students basketball game is taking place March 10th at 3:15. We will be having a PJ day on Friday to help raise funds for the 8th graders end of the year activities. And congratulations to the 6th grade class who won the January attendance challenge. They will be participating in a snow day on February 12th with fun activities during the last period.
Thank you. We will now take a 5-minute recess. We're going to take pictures outside. We'll be back in 6 minutes.
5-minute
We're happy to have with us this evening representatives from one of our designated high schools, Griswold High School. We have Superintendent Sean McKenna, Assistant Superintendent Glenn Labassiere, and Principal Erin Polona. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice
Well,
to have
thank
you.
you for having us, and we are thrilled to be here. I may need some technical assistance.
Join the crowd. You fit right in with this group, I'll tell you right now.
I like that.
I just do this.
Whoa.
No, that's somewhere far away.
So as Matt's working his magic, we are here to do a presentation which will last about 5 to 10 minutes and then answer any questions you may have. And feel free to fire away. If I can't answer them, I have our Assistant Superintendent here, Mr. Labassiere, and our Principal of Griswold High School, Erin Polonen. And we have been so grateful to have this relationship with Norwich Public Schools since 2020. So it's been half of a decade. We have about 60 students from Norwich. They are wonderful partners in our district, and we are so grateful to build their dreams with them and to ensure that they belong and to build their futures of success, whether it's in career, whether it's in college, whether it's in the armed services. We pride ourselves on being a really close-knit community. We're right off the 395 corridor up north, very easy access. We do provide transportation to Norwich students, and they are such a vital part of our community. Norwich, in just a short 5 years out of our 7 tuition partner towns, is our second highest sending town, so we're very grateful for our relationship. As I mentioned, we have 7 partner towns, so Griswold High School, albeit it's a smaller high school than some of the neighboring high schools in southeastern Connecticut, we have about 600 students. And we have students from Griswold, from Canterbury, from Lisbon, from Franklin, from Norwich, from Voluntown, and from Sprague. It is a tight-knit community. We have 50% of our students. We make sure that they are actively involved in either athletics or extracurriculars. We have a wonderful drama and music program, and we want to make sure that students are known by their name and they are appreciated. Wolverine Induction is a program that our principal designed. So we have a program in the summer where we make sure that our students feel welcomed. They know that they belong. They are introduced to the faculty and the staff, and they become immediately a part of our community well before the school year happens. It's called Wolverine Induction, and it happens in the summer, and they do a number of team building activities. They get to tour the schools, they meet their faculty advisors, and we have found that to be such a successful introduction to Griswold High School. Our campus is a beautiful campus. It abuts a river and trails. It's right off the 395 corridor. We have taken a good deal of care to keep up with the campus. We have invested in $1 million, actually $3.5 million community multi-purpose field. I'm a little bit biased. I think it's the best in Eastern Connecticut to play. And we also have invested in infrastructure in terms of labs, in terms of facilities that you're going to see in this presentation, because we want our students to feel at home and to do their very best. Our mission is about our students and their future. That is our work, that is our goal, that is not only the mission of our faculty and staff, it is also the mission and vision of our Board of Education. And we focus on the social and emotional learning, personalized and blended learning, and research-based instruction. Our vision is, in fact, some of the attributes that you heard when the students talked about their essays and the wonderful work and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Being an effective communicator, being resilient, being a critical thinker, being an engaged citizen. That's what we aim to produce when students come to Griswold High School. We have a vision of the graduate experience where all of our students are partnered with a faculty advisor, and they actually have to give a presentation before they graduate on a passion project that they believe in and that addresses the work and everything that they've done. So We had that presentation and we have courses that go along with it, as well as we do require all of our students to do 40 hours of community service. We have students that work at Bacchus, we have students that work on campus, we have students that work at businesses and partnerships in Norwich as well as other communities. So just to give you a snapshot, Griswold High School students completed 8,335 community service hours in 2024, 2025. We believe that that's important, that students understand their community, that they give back, and that they're recognized. Some locations, as we mentioned, include Bacchus Hospital, the Griswold Senior Center, Bully Busters, Griswold Youth and Family Services. We also believe in having the students actively involved in the monthly Feed the Grizz celebration, and students gain skills and interests through these experiences. Here are some of the numbers. We have over 600 students. We have about 60 students from Norwich. We have over 65 extracurricular activities and clubs ranging from various things such as Model UN and theater. We have award-winning music and arts programs. 1/3 of our student body participates in the spring musical. We have this beautiful new community multi-purpose field. We have a state-of-the-art advanced learning lab that has gotten national recognition called the Nexus. We also believe in career prep. We believe in working with students that need to go to work and to enter the workforce. We have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and we have 20 dual enrollment courses with relationships with UConn, Southern Connecticut State University, with traditional courses where students can earn college credit at Griswold High School, Three Rivers Community College, as well as some new expanding fields. We have courses in drone technology, where students can earn credit through Southern Connecticut State University and enter into a new emerging field. We continue to add dual credit courses. Our principal, Erin Polonian, will be teaching a special education course next year at Griswold High School that is aligned with the standards of UConn, where students can get credit for that. We have computer science, game development, esports management. I mentioned the new drone technology courses. We have exciting elective courses where kids feel passionate and good about going to class, contemporary issues in sports, teaching of the young child, the history of rock and roll, and more. There are various opportunities for our students to gain career experience, CNA boot camp. We have the manufacturing pipeline. We have a great teacher that prepares students for jobs and careers at places like Electric Boat. And we also offer students the Spanish seal of biliteracy. So I wanted to give you a visual of some of the things that we do. We have really studied the way that learning takes place, and we know that the research shows that students, when they collaborate, when they work together, you can have great outcomes. So we've spent a lot of time on flexible seating. The board has invested in that. That can be found in our classrooms. We have a learning commons. We would love for you to come and visit our facility. That if you go into it, it's a library, but it also feels like you're in the midst of Starbucks, reading a book or communicating on a computer with someone producing some work. And you can see that we also believe in the waves of the future. So we do host college and career fairs. We have our students exposed to new technologies. Students participate in mock interviews, and they further explore their interests and develop skills in what we call the Senior Showcase. I mentioned the Youth Manufacturing Pipeline Initiative. Those are advanced courses that students can take with direct school to career pipeline, and students also have the opportunity to earn an OSHA 10 certification with 150 training hours and visits and interviews with local employers. I mentioned the dual credit options. We do offer many advanced placement, early college experience via UConn. We have partnership with Southern Connecticut State University, college career pathways, and again, this is all rooted in the belief of our students, what they can be, and their dreams and their hopes and their aspirations. Thanks to the great work of our faculty and staff and our principal, Erin Polonian, we believe our students are excelling, particularly at the advanced placement level. We're outperforming global and state averages in AP Human Geography, AP US History, AP Government and Politics, pre-calculus, as well as AP Psychology. And we do a great job placing students in various colleges throughout the United States. This includes community colleges, state colleges and universities, and in fact, the most competitive colleges in the United States. We had students last year that were accepted to Columbia. We had students last year that were accepted to Vassar, Lafayette. 5 years ago, we had our valedictorian salutatorian. First went to Brown, second went to Yale University. The young lady that went to Brown, we're pleased to report, was accepted and enrolled in Harvard Medical School. So we believe we are competing with the best and offering our students the best that want to push themselves. And we also know that college is very expensive. So we work very closely with our families to ensure that they have the FAFSA forms, that they have all the access to scholarships and the aid that they need to afford higher education. Student life, it's about students. It's about their interests. It's about representing who they are, how they excel, and celebrating them. And that is a direct result of the commitment of our faculty and staff. We have incredible school spirit, incredible school pride, and the belief that our students can do great things. The Nexus Lab, if Superintendent Lassard shares this with you, you can see a little video about the nationally ranked Nexus Lab. It's an advanced technology lab where students can take computer science as well as esports courses. I mentioned our Learning Commons. Come on over. You will find it to be a relaxing place where you can read a book, where you can study, where you can network, and where you can do great things with technology. We invested, thanks to Glenn Lavoisier, our ESSER funding into our fitness center. So we have a state-of-the-art fitness center for our student athletes and for students that when they take physical education classes, they can reap the benefits of solid, safe equipment. Our music and drama department is non-parental in southeastern Connecticut. Our spring musicals are widely attended. We have students that go on to do great things in college, in Broadway. We have a great director. We have a great program, and over one third of our students are actively involved in either acting, producing, and or playing in music that contributes to the spring musical. And by the way, this year we have Shrek. You're gonna wanna see it. Athletics, we celebrate our student athletes. Our teams are doing great. Our athletes are not just athletes, they're student athletes. They excel at school. They do well in athletic competitions. And if they come to Griswold, they are gonna get on a team and we're gonna celebrate them. So you can see we have fall sports, winter sports, and spring sports, and we are proud to announce that we're adding volleyball for men in the spring. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? That's our beautiful multi-purpose field. I'm very grateful to the taxpayers of Griswold. I think when you go in, the folks that did this field were the same folks that did Foxborough. That's field turf. It is an incredible experience to see a game there. It's an incredible experience to see a track meet. It has the feel of something special, and we invite you to come on, walk our campus and take a look. Student Services Department. We are very proud of the services that we provide for all of our students. That includes those that excel and that includes those that need support. So, and we celebrate them. We have actually a unified prom that's coming up. We have unified music. We have a unified holiday party. So those students are really our students. They're part of Wolverine Nation. We have a school store that's run by the Student Services Department, and we have a highly effective in-district transition academy. In addition, we have a Griswold Sewell Street Academy that's about a half mile down the road for students that need a more specialized experience. That's Griswold Sewell Street Academy. The Board of Education dedicated approximately $700,000 from our ESSER funds to renovate the old Griswold Senior Center, and that involves personalized learning, prioritizes social and emotional well-being, and a close-knit faculty that works to support our students in that academy. And so I think the best testimony of the work that we do is the work of our students and the joy that they bring to everything in our district and in our high school. And so I'm gonna kind of turn it over to Erin just to talk about the students at Griswold High School, our Norwich students.
No, I mean, I so appreciate your presentation because it brings me tremendous joy and pride. And I think, you know, Superintendent McKenna hit the nail on the head. We're truly centered in what is best for our students. And I always say, we're very fortunate every year, because every student that comes through the door immediately becomes a Wolverine. And we're very lucky to bring in students from our neighboring towns as well. So we thought just showing you some of our students and what they do best. Here is a senior, Ziana Zai Ellis. Zai has really, to witness her grow has been such an honor. Zai now loves culinary and she's big in our teaching the young child. So the joy you see on her face is actually her interacting with some of our students from the elementary school where she planned and implemented a lesson with our preschool students. So you can see that she is just having a wonderful time, but also the feedback that she received, I think she is planning to pursue a career in working with young children.
I'm gonna have you and Glenn kind of talk about our student athletes, Caden Peace.
Yeah, so KP. So Caden is a student who, first of all, he's incredibly kind. He's wonderful. He's compassionate and he loves basketball. So he, you know, maybe he loved his role as just being part of the team. But last year he was newsworthy because he got into a game and just started firing 3-pointers and making them. So all of us, the place went crazy because all of a sudden KP is like hitting 5 or 6 threes from way downtown. So, you know, we like to highlight him here. He really is a tremendous part of the team, accepts his role. But again, it speaks to all of our students really getting opportunities in doing what they love. Larissa just provided some feedback. We've been very fortunate that we've had Larissa's older brother is a graduate of Griswold High School. Larissa is thriving, and we recently had one of our shadow days. We host a shadow day a month for that's open to any of our students from all of our partner towns. And on Friday, we met Larissa's brother, who is currently an 8th grader, who I know that they have a lot of choices to make, but did share that we will be seeing him in the fall. So we really appreciate their family very much.
Glenn, maybe talk a little bit about Jaden and opportunities for student athletes.
Right
Yeah,
now.
Jaden's currently playing. They're playing, I think, at Ledger.
Ledger.
Currently
Um,
playing.
Jaden came to us, you know, needed a lot of work in basketball. The nice part about Griswold's athletics are because it is a little smaller school. I think there's more opportunity for students to make the team. He's just excelled. We have a very good basketball team this year, and over the last 2 years, Jaden has become a big part of our varsity program. Sparked us in many games coming off the bench this year for us, and he's just a pleasure to watch play and watch him grow throughout the last few years.
And Nate is one of our students at Griswold School Street Academy that is located downtown. We work very closely with our Student Services Department and the Norwich Public Schools Special Education Department. And a lot of those students come up to the high school, isn't that right, Erin, for different courses. It's very close, but they get what they need in terms of the smaller school, but they also come up to Griswold High School to campus to be a part of the bigger parts of Wolverine Nation. Registration process we have outlined for all of you, and we certainly communicate this with the different sending towns. We have a great director of school counseling, Lane Taylor. We are constantly in communication with our districts, and we want to make it easy for families to register at Griswold High School. Last but not least, we've done a lot of talking, and we just believe that pictures capture so much of the work that we do and the great talents of our students. We are here to answer any questions that you may have, and we'd like to thank Norwich Public Schools for moving forward with us. So thank you so much for allowing us to present, and we'll answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Questions, anyone?
Yeah, do you have, how involved are your students at the high school level in volunteering in the elementary and middle school?
Yeah, I mean, I think while I don't have a number, there's quite a few. We're very lucky to have the campus, so access is definitely easy. We offer an activity on Mondays and Fridays every week, and several of those activities are in partnership with the elementary school. So we go over to the elementary school and may read to the students or plan games or activities with the students. But we also have people that may volunteer just to clean up around the building, or so there's several different things. Again, while I don't have a number, there's quite a few.
Anybody else? Thank you, folks.
Thank you so much.
Great presentation. Shake your hand. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Good to see you. To our reports, part of the meeting, I will start with the chairman's report, which happens to be mine. I just have a couple of things. You know, it was very appropriate that Paris Branca was recognized tonight because it is School Counselor Month, February School Counselor Month. And as I look around the table, we all know the value of good school counselors. They're a lot different than when we went to school, than it's years ago. They do tremendous things and are very helpful, so we're very happy to be able to recognize them. February is also Black History Month, and on the 19th of February at 6 p.m. in the Kelly Middle School, we will have a celebration of Black History Month put on by Norwich Public Schools and the NAACP Robert Steen Duncan Youth Council. The title of the evening is Voices of the Past and Visions for the Future. We hope you can join us on the 19th at 6 p.m. at Kelly Middle School. And that's about all I have on a report. I'll turn it over to, I think it's you, to Susan.
Okay, so one thing that you have my reports with you, I'm going to spotlight one. John promised to bring pom-poms, but he didn't for this part.
I couldn't find it.
So we're gonna talk about the building project. I'm gonna give everybody an update on that. So we finished our staff, you have this also in front of you. We finished our staff building tours and engagement. There was district leadership. We met with each staff during their staff meetings, and you'll see the staff participating in the tours, which is on that sheet. But it was myself, Jamie Bender, Dr. Hughes, Bob, Matt Brown, Matt Rosika, and Mike Fienza, our project manager. And they were focused on project timelines, logistics, and what staff can expect in the coming years. And we also so they could ask us any questions and we could answer any of the questions that they had. So we just wrapped that up. Mahan was our last stop, and that was just last week. So that they went very well. Staff asked great questions, very involved. I think everyone knows that our staff was pretty involved in the DRA, part of the furniture we just wrapped up, so they had a big part in that. Stanton Elementary School, just so everyone knows, I know if you drive by there, all you can see is really the big dirt, the dirt mounds, but if you look behind, it's a beautiful project coming together. The windows are starting to go in now, so it remains on track for the opening of this coming year, 26-27 school year. Central office has met with the principal, Mrs. MK, and we just talked about planning for packing, logistics, and then readiness to start the school. I know Jamie's been working with them to make sure they have checklists to see what curriculum and everything that'll be going into the next the building over the summer. So once we're past the snow season, I hear there's more snow coming tonight. I will return to the board with the request of 2 additional half days to allow dedicated staff time to prepare for this move, because it's not just going to be packing up for the summer. They're gonna have to do a lot more work. So once we know when the last day of school is, then I'll come back to you and we'll see if we can approve 2 half days for Stanton.
Excuse me, Susan.
yeah.
I was trying to remember, have we hired a moving company yet?
It's all done by the construction company.
Oh, they're doing that
They do
part
everything.
too? I couldn't remember from.
Yep,
I should
everything's
be
done by them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Greenville Elementary School, so this project is scheduled, we think everybody knows there's been a lot more blasting on that site, and so it's had to, we first thought it was gonna be January, now February, now it's looking like March. And then to ensure that the building does not remain vacant, once we open up that building, we are going to move our IT and facility staff in there during that interim period before the redistricting, so it's not like an abandoned building. Uncas Elementary School and Moriarty Elementary School district leadership met with each school's administrative team. We reviewed timelines, site work, and phasing plans. Construction for both Moriarty and Uncas is expected to begin between March 16th and April 1st of this year, so that's coming up quickly. District elementary planning, all elementary schools are projected to be fully operational and in line in the 27-28 school year. Veterans Elementary School, I've been talking to this, I've been bringing it up to the Board of Ed. We will have to have some city approval and then Board of Ed approval. Once Veterans Elementary School is taken offline, I think we've talked about this a lot, we are going to expand Rose City School in the resilience program, so we're gonna be moving into veterans. Utilizing the Veterans Building will allow us, the district, to grow our in-district specialized programming. I know last month we had Josh Vinosky here, and he was explaining to us how great these 2 programs are now, and Dr. Hughes has as well, and we're really excited about, we're adding an elementary classroom next year. There's already 2 elementaries, 2 middle schools, we're gonna have 3 and 2. And then the resilience of the program, I think we're up to 14 students in the resiliency program right now, so that's going well, and Dr. Hughes has talked about adding more programs as we get into veteran schools, so we're excited about that. Redistricting, we are gonna be looking for a special Board of Education meeting, and we're going to plan it for April. We're waiting to get back, hear back from Mike Zuba on when this will be, and then we'll get back to Mr. Iavino so that he can spread that word. And that will begin formal discussions regarding student redistricting. So we'll get that date to you as soon as possible, and if anybody doesn't know Mike Zuba, he is our demographer for this project. And then he will present different scenarios and boundary scenarios. Right now, there's 3, there could be 4, but right now we have an A, B, and C, and he'll be presenting that, and then the board will have to decide on which one that they think would best suit us. Teachers Memorial Middle School, so we just start the ed specs, and those are, actually, we completed those. The principal and district staff will be visiting newly constructed middle schools. We identified 2 in Connecticut. One is the Groton Middle School, and one is Marine Science Magnet. Even though it's a high school, we're gonna be touring that. Ed Lavoie is gonna be doing that. He has a team of a couple of people that would be joining Matt Brown and some other members. We're due to do that tomorrow in Massachusetts, and then Massachusetts, we're seeing 2 schools, a middle school and a high school as well. So we're looking forward to getting some ideas before we start the project. So that will open on the 2028-2029 school year. And then for Huntington School, Central Office and Adult Ed, once vacated as an elementary school, Huntington School will be converted, or as they say, renovated as new, and that will house the central office operations and the adult education programs. And this is scheduled to be ready in the 2028-2029 school year. We don't have a month yet. As we get closer to that, we'll give you some more information. So I think that, we're on a roll here, and we're pretty excited to have Stanton. Stanton's sort of like our guinea pig, so we're gonna learn a lot about Stanton. Bob likes to use that phrase, and we're gonna learn. We met with actually NPU to try to get an idea of how much heating and things like that will cost. We're in our early stages of talking to them, so that we have a better idea when we go into budgeting in the following year, what the energy will be for those buildings. So, and then once that happens, Bishop will go back to the city, 90 Town Street will go back to the city, and all the other schools, with the exception of Veterans, will go back to the city.
Oh, so the long-term goal is that Bishop will be closed.
Correct.
Okay, so I thought that was. what
Because
we
right now
were
Bishop houses our Rose City School, resiliency, and then we have IT, we
Right,
have finance in there.
and
and
so all of
facilities.
Rose City will be at Veterans
Correct.
and the resilience program. So, that building, what's the repair status on that building now?
On which building?
On Veterans?
Veterans is one of our better that we've looked at, and Bob,
Okay.
you wanna speak to that, because I know Matt Brown's talked about that with the HVAC, it's one of our better schools, it's one floor.
It's in a
Yeah,
good,
accessibility.
it's
is
in a good area too in terms of being
It's what,
conducive to Rose City School, and it's in a nice area that fits
Oh,
in
yeah.
nicely in terms of being quiet.
Mhm.
If anything, the HVAC system would be reviewed, obviously, but other than that, the school's in really pretty good shape compared to like a Huntington or Bishop or some of our old stand, which is going away.
I wish something would be done with that vacant building though that's next to it, you know, the old
Yeah.
nursing home, right? That was a nursing home. Cause it kind of, you know, we come down the road and you're like, oh, you know, cause I hope there hasn't been any, I'm hoping the police are checking it regularly, you know. But that's what I don't like. Parking is hectic, well, but with it being Rose City, there as much won't be required.
Yes. And that concludes my report.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
That was less than, no, I'm just kidding. We'll have pom-poms for you next time.
Okay.
Public comment? Is there anyone wishing to speak before the board for public comment? Is there anyone wishing to speak before the board for public comment? Is there anyone wishing to speak to the board for public comment? Closed. Reports continued. Assistant Superintendent Jamie Bender.
In your board packet for tonight, you got a lot of academic data that has been produced from assessments that we've had recently. You'll notice that we've had really strong math performance on our winter universal screener for number sense assessments, where we're exceeding our district goal of having 80% of our students meet grade level at our, particularly our younger grades, where we had been shifting our focus over the last couple of years. Kindergarten's at 94%, grade 1 at 91%, and grade 2 at 84%, which definitely reflects strong instruction and academic growth. We're on the right trajectory for making sure that they have foundational numeracy. I also want to take some time, you know, because you have to kind of glean through all that data that's in there, but we have several classes across the board that have met that goal of 80% in other areas of our assessments. In Stanton and Mahan, we had grade kindergarten that had 80% of their students on grade level at the mid-year mark. Grade 1 for reading, we had Stanton and Mahan at 80% for meeting those grade level benchmarks. Kindergarten and math, every school made 80% grade level achievement. And then grade 1 for math, Stanton, Mahan, Huntington, Uncas, Veterans, Moriarty. Grade 2 math, Mahan, Huntington, Uncas, Veterans, Moriarty, Wequonic. Grade 3, Huntington, Mahan. So we are definitely moving the needle and setting the stage for our kids to continue that trajectory as they move up the grade levels. You know, we know that there's always work to be done in our middle school. We continue to focus on making decisions around the data that is in front of us. They continue to work on adjusting for those skill gaps, adjusting pacing, and strengthening those mid-lesson checks for understanding to make sure that our students are with us. So, you know, this is attributed to the dedication that we have here and the support that we have from administration, our building leaders that are taking the work that that we've charged them with in our district leadership academies, and we all have the same focus across the district, and that's what I find to be making the difference. In other areas, we have our Norwich Regional Adult Education that's going to be representing Norwich at the Connecticut Association of Adult and Continuing Education Conference. We're at 3 presentations that they're going to be leading, which is, I think should fill us with pride that we have, we're making that much of an impact with our older learners. Other areas I'd like you to just consider is Patrice Marandina, our coordinator of strategic initiatives, continues to spend a lot of her work on the focus of recruiting and retention. We're going to continue with our teacher residency program for next year, but there's work that's being done now in preparation for that. As well as our UConn partnerships. We've had a lot of success with that, and most recently, Eastern has a working group that they've invited to be part of to develop their Pathways program for our teachers. So, as usual, we have a lot of things happening in this department, good things. You can see much more in greater detail in my reports, but I want to draw your attention to March 18th. I know, like, the next time we come for a board meeting, it'll just be a little while after that where we have our all-city music program happening on March 18th. And just a little bit about the grant that was acknowledged tonight from Project Peace Fund. We had some grassroots efforts from a couple of our elementary schools. Wannick kind of started the trend last year with wanting to get involved in performance type of after-school activity for their students. And this year we had UNCUS and veterans groups of teachers that wanted to do a theater performance for their students. Their kids were, getting that theater bug, and that's where this grant kind of came to be. And you have UNCUS that's going to be doing Shrek, so along with Griswold, it's a popular play. And that'll happen on May 28th and 29th. And I'll remind you of those dates as we go down the line. But Vets is going to be doing Pinocchio. So lots of excitement and momentum there. So glad that we're able to have that opportunity to build our after school.
Absolutely. It's interesting. I went to the Kelly Winter concert. And they had 91 sixth graders on stage playing musical instruments. 91. Sitting next to someone, it might have been you, Mark.
Yeah.
We were talking 10 years ago, we didn't have any. Didn't have any. So look at where we are. And there were 232 total students from Kelly that participated in that winter concert. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we're working on those numbers right now as we talk about, our UAs and planning for our new elementary schools, and talking with the music teachers and extracting that data to see how many kids are participating in music and playing instruments and bringing joy when we were able to
Absolutely
have those opportunities to listen. And
I just want to know, I was there also, I was down father, and I try to always go to that concert, and it was our teachers are working so hard, and our students are, and you can just see to manage that many students.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of dedication on those teachers' parts, and they try to have their helpers, other teachers that
Sure.
volunteer to help. But the kids they did marvelous.
Turn that into the pep band that just that's also funded through an after school grant from the Connecticut Judicial Department. They're in the gymnasium and during halftime playing those songs that you hear at the UConn basketball games. And, it's really exciting. I know that Teachers is also starting. I think it's an elite jazz or elite pep. I think it's elite jazz band. That's starting next week. So just really great things happening.
And the scores on the young kids are phenomenal. To see that progress and to see the direction that we're going in with the younger grades is terrific. That's where it starts. So
I stand behind the work of the department and behind Ashley Eichhorn and getting back to the foundational principles of learning how to read.
Right.
Simply put, making sure that we're targeting that instruction to do that.
spot on. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm just, so what I call the COVID cohort that was lagging behind, they've recovered quite a bit.
Well, you can see the trajectory. We have really strong outcomes at our K1, 2, 3, and then it creeps up a little bit. And the middle school, we're still, like I said, working on filling some of those skill gaps. But you can see a difference in whether it's related to COVID or not. We're in, in those classrooms and we're seeing good instruction. We're seeing kids that are engaged. But, there is that time when, that I don't know if we'd ever be able to get back. Sitting in front of a computer day in and day out, there's definitely limitations to that. And, here we are.
Is there any correlation between that group and their attendance?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can
I
vouch
know
for
it
it.
usually is, that's what I wanna know.
I can vouch for it
Are you
myself.
seeing that, Jamie?
I can't give you a correlation. I mean, maybe, like Heather was mentioning in high school with individual students, I think, we will always have that, concern. But we had concerns with certain students as they get older before COVID.
Right.
So, to really talk about whether it's rooted and directly correlated to COVID, it's hard to say. I mean, our attendance still continues to improve. There are pockets that, we'll continue to have
I'm
to
just
grapple with
curious, I'd love to
sickness
see
and
the
illness
stats,
and,
for just ours.
we kept kids at home for, the slightest inkling of a sniffle, and we kept kids home for a couple of years. And, now we're like, okay, we know how we can take care of ourselves, and you don't necessarily need to stay home, but sometimes we still have that mentality.
That mindset,
It's great to see the improvement. Thank you.
absolutely, thank you.
It's awesome.
Dr. Hughes, student service?
Yes, good evening. So I'll highlight some of the items on my report. We are holding at 105 students in our out-of-district placements. We have had under 10, but a certain handful of students that moved into district already placed in outplacements and therapeutic programs already this school year. So that does impact the work that we're doing on the other end with our Rose City School and our school resilience program. So I wanted just to bring that to your attention, as that's a number we're very focused on. In addition to that, I, around this time of year, report to you about the number of meetings that our department has had for our Section 504 accommodation plans and our IEPs. And so our planning and placement team meetings, our PPTs, we're up over 1,500 meetings held to date. So that gives you
For this school year?
Yes, for this school year, and that includes our high school programming, all of the IEPs that are, and 504 plans that are under our care and consideration. So I really would like to thank all of the school-based teams, our school administrators, our special ed supervisors and liaisons, all of, yes, are they back there? Let's see who's, oh yes, we have some of our members here. And they really do the work that is necessary to make sure that our supports and IEP services are aligned to our students, and working with families, developing eligibility for IEP supports and that sort of thing. So it's really a large volume of work, and to be in February and to be at that number gives you an idea about how many meetings are held.
I read that, I thought your finger got stuck on one of the numbers, and it just kept repeating.
Yeah, we
That's
keep
awesome.
track of that. And that's out of district placements too, and meetings to get kids back to district. So thank you to all who make that possible. Also wanted to direct your attention, I know Bob is often talking about our seed grant, and that it is time to input that into our grant management system. And so I'm in the process of doing that with finance, the business department's assistance, and very thankful for Bob and Cheryl DeRoja, who have helped greatly in looking at the staffing that we're putting in that special education expansion and development grant, or the seed grant. So we know that number is approximately over $600,000, and we've accounted for every dollar and cent.
Just Dr. Hughes, just so the seed grant is to open up new programs so that it prevents us from outplacing students.
Right, and so with that, the I guess you could call it the faculty or the staffing that's put in that are for our new programs, such as Rose City. In addition to that, We also have kicked off our primary mental health, our primary project grant at Huntington, and I see Lori LaFleur Carney, one of our wonderful school psychologists who is also part of that project. And we have hired someone called a child advocate who's working on play groups and assisting students K through 3. So that project is off and running, and I'm very thankful to Principal Fries for her wonderful collaboration and the team who've done some training and work around what kinds of supplies they'd like for these little play groups that they're working with students, developing relationships with them and assisting them. So very excited about that, kindergarten through grade 3 at Huntington. That grant was a little bit under $20,000, so we're utilizing that money
Can I,
currently.
excuse me, Lisa.
Yep.
You know, that program that's for K through 3, you said.
Correct.
Are these kids that have already had a diagnosis of having a mental health issue?
No, so in the district, we do have screening tools, and for this particular project, there is a screening tool. And we will be utilizing that kind of with all of our students to determine what needs there may be. Right now, the team has already identified some students that may need some assistance, and so they're already working with some students until our screening tool is in place, which should be shortly. You're welcome. We did move our Rose City Coffee and Conversations due to snow to March 11th, hopefully no snow, to engage our families and community members, and we've sent out invitations to area directors as well. So hoping to get some of you to join us and also some of our partners around in other districts. It was so nice to see Laura Dietrich recognized this evening as our nursing supervisor. There's not a task that I can't give her or ask for her support that she's not right there. We talk a lot, almost every single day. So it's just really wonderful to see that. And in the board reports, you'll see the school health report, and she puts that together each month.
And so she also goes out into houses to help.
I believe.
Yes, she is extremely dedicated, and I accidentally, and just an aside, accidentally called her. It was 5 o'clock in the morning and she's answering me. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I accidentally hit the wrong button and called you. It was ridiculous." But that is who she is.
She's a good nurse.
She is unbelievable and just wonderful. So I'm really very happy to see her recognized. In addition to that, as you know, the school nurses are busy in the nurse's office. It is cold and flu season, so they're very busy. And in addition to that, they actively participate in some of those meetings that I talked to you about. So, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about your about the report or anything that you'd like to ask in general.
How well are we doing identifying needs in the early education programs,
In our preschool?
in the preschool?
Yeah, I think
Because those students will be entering our completed elementary schools
yeah.
as, you know, full-time students, hopefully.
Yeah, preschool is always hopping, and we get a lot of referrals, and the team does a remarkable job at the preschool level. And kind of, we'd like to call it customer service in preschool, and Corey Beckwith talks about that with her team often, because it is their first experience in public school when they come to us at age 3. We have lots of referrals and many things happening in preschool, but we have solid programming and staffing, and so I think we're working in the right direction.
Anybody else? Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Mr. Swerpinski.
Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna start with a legislative update, but I wanna just briefly add to what, or comment on what Lisa said regarding the SEED grant. We have the Alliance grant, I affectionately call that Jamie's grant, and to me, that's an example of state needing to improve the process. I believe that grant was approved in January, probably around January 16th, final approval from the state. Lisa's new SEED grant, which was, I give Lisa that grant because it's hers, so to speak. That was passed by the legislative body last year, and here Lisa's writing a grant to have it approved with 4.5 months in the year to go, and we've already
Already
been
spent
spending the
money.
money since July.
It's gone.
And the DRIP program was finally approved, that was passed in the last legislative session, and the bonding commission appropriated the money in a special meeting in December. We will find out by March first what our allocation amount is. The estimate is $244,000. And by June 30th, OPM has to let us know how we can spend it. So we don't know if we can charge projects that we've already spent money on this year back to it, or if it has to wait. So that's on the old stuff, but now we're in the new session. It's the second year of a 2-year budget cycle, and it's called the short session, and the session ends on May 6th. The good part about that is the city has to approve budgets by the second Monday in June. So we will know the outcome of all pending legislation and how that will affect not only the city but Norwich Public Schools. And as we all know, legislative actions are extremely important to us. So I believe last week the governor released his ideas for the budget, and in a short session, there usually isn't any large sweeping programs, they just tweak existing programs. So he has two things that are of particular interest to us. One is he is proposing to eliminate $12 million from magnet school funding. So that would be particularly harmful to two of the RESCs that we use, EastCon and Learn. As we know, there's a tuition cap on magnet school tuitions that will expire in 27-28, I believe.
That's 58%.
So we're paying 58% of what the rate was in 23-24. The state is funding the rest. So the RESCs, like Learn and EastCon, are very much like NFA. They need money to survive and run their program. So if they lose $12 million, they're gonna find the money somehow. And I fear that they would raise rates on services and programs and things like that, and once they do that, they're never gonna lower them. I don't think there's a big appetite amongst the Democrats and Republicans to cut magnet funding, so we're hopeful that won't make it. His other initiative is to add $12 million to provide free breakfasts for all schools in Connecticut. I don't see how that would benefit us at all, or any of the large city schools that are already 100% free, so I don't know if there'd be money coming to the district somehow from that, so we'll see where that goes. One thing that is of particular interest to us, and Susan and I are following this very closely, is seems to be a push to adjust the base foundation amount in the ECS grant. That base amount is $11,525, has not changed since 2013. We've heard initiative to increase it to $13,525, $15,000, and $16,000 per student. So with help from the Office of OPM and Department of Education, we got an estimate from them. What impact would that have to Norwich Public Schools if it were increased to $15,000 per student? That would, based on today's numbers, there's a lot of factors that go into calculating the ECS amount. There's 6, 7, 8 different factors, but as of today, the estimate would be we would receive an additional $14 million. Now, that's a big chunk of money for us, so if you do the math times all of the other large city districts, they probably could not afford that much money in 1 year. So in conversations that we've had and Susan's had with state leaders, they would probably do a phased-in approach where it might come in over a period of 3, 4, or 5 years.
Well, I heard $1,000 a year until 2031 is what we're hearing, which would be great if they
But
raise that.
It's not
base amount.
necessarily a linear formula, but if going from 11,525 to 15,000 would give us 14 million, the lower number of 13,000 and change would probably give us 2 million or 4 million. So
There's 2 bills, right?
yes,
2 bills, I looked at those.
well, it's interesting. I think the Republicans are pushing for 16,500, and the lesser amount is coming from the Democratic side. And I think it could have been flipped around, but it isn't.
Yeah.
So I think they'll do something.
We'll do something.
And we'll know by the end of the session, May 6th, so that could be good news for us. And we don't know yet, but my assumption is not funnel through as an alliance, increase in alliance, that it would go to the city in terms of ECS allotment, but that's just my guess.
That's what the talk is too, that it
Yeah.
will go right to the city or town.
Any legislative questions?
That's all assuming there's no cuts in federal grants.
One doesn't know how that would impact things. The federal grants that we usually get are related to the title grants and IDEA.
Title 1 through 5. Or
A quick update on the 26-27 budget process. Our first committee meeting was held January 26th. There was a packet in your board packet that covers all the material that was covered. We talked about tuitions, transportation, special education, contracted services, and fuel for our transportation service. So tuition is our biggest single cost item. NFA alone is 30% of our budget. We actually have a decrease in NFA's total tuitions for next year compared to this year, and that's mainly because there's a decrease of 70 students on the regular ed side, and we do pay 1 year in arrears, so we already know what that bill will be. That's one nice thing about paying 1 year behind. So they did lose 70 students. We add all of those costs together, and this year, it represents about 55% of our budget. So we covered a lot of spending dollars last time. Right now, if we looked at the cost increase compared to this year's budget, that would represent a 2% budget increase. So our next meeting is scheduled for February 18th, and we're gonna cover salaries, benefits, and grant funding. Any questions about that? Okay, now a quick update on where we stand this year. And our budget is $96.6 million, and that's a lot of money. I like to equate things to basics. If I look at what would we spend on average per day, 365 days in a year, it's almost $265,000 a day. Right now, our forecast is saying that we're gonna end the year within $145,000 of that. So that's half a day's worth of spending, so that's pretty close. Actually represents 0.2% of the budget, so we don't have a lot of room there. That number could change, obviously as circumstances change. We might have room to move some Board of Ed expenses into the Alliance grant because we might have lower expenses there than we budgeted, so that could improve that. And we work with Jamie's office to see where we can do those types of things. So one of the biggest pressure points we've had, and it continues to be that, are the special education tuition expenses. And I've added heating costs and overtime to that. The winter has not been kind to us. It's been significantly.
Snow's been on the weekends.
And holidays.
Yeah.
So that's all double
Lots
time,
overtime.
double time, and it's been a lot.
Right.
We've had to have people come in and sand and salt because of the freezing, it melts and so on and so forth. Natural gas this year is, at this point in time, which was through the end of December, is $40,000 higher than the previous year. And we're expecting to be about $93,000 over budget. That stuff doesn't make me happy because we're just keeping the buildings warm so we can be comfortable. It's not like we bought something or spent it on curriculum or staff. Overtime is, at this point, is $40,000 higher than last year. Collectively, all salary expenses, which are just under a little over $28 million, we're expected to be $185,000 under budget. That includes certified salaries, non-certified, overtime, substitutes. So that's pretty close too. So that's where we stand, and we continue to monitor it going forward. Any questions about that?
Has flu or illness affected us staffing wise at all?
In terms
yeah.
of,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
It's, kids and staff alike. There was stomach virus going around, there's the flu, there's been all different things going around.
I don't know if it's worse than other years, it's just happens every year.
I think it's just normal.
I think you're right.
That's what happens, yeah.
Fall comes, we get sick.
We get to. That's what happens. Any other questions, anything for Robert? That it, Bob?
For that part.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. On to new business. We have first reads on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 policies. In the policy committee meeting minutes, which are in the packet that you have, there's a description of each one and what the changes were. Most of them are wording, adding words, complying with the state titles and things along those lines. So we can have discussion, you can look at these. Please take a look at what the committee's put together, because it really is inclusive as to what is involved in each policy change. We will vote on these next month. This is the first read. Questions or discussion that we have on any of the policies? You know, unfortunately, Kevin is not able to be here, but I have copies of his report in case we have any questions on anything. The other item on new business is listed as an action item, and we're gonna put that off. We're gonna consider this a first read also on the food. We've had some questions in terms of, and this is new to me, and I'll be honest with you, as I looked at it. And I had 4 conversations with Bob about the intricacies of the food contracts. I had no idea that I opened up this can of worms, but it's a big one. But I think it would behoove us to use this as a first read. Bob has some information he'll pass to us so that next month when we're voting, we know what we're voting on, because there is an option to offer items outside of school hours that we might want to consider or not consider. But I'd like us to have the opportunity to look at things and consider which way we'd like to go with that. Normally in the past, to be honest, we've just approved nothing outside of the regulated food, but we're gonna take an opportunity for us to look at it, and if we wanna make a different decision, we can do so. That make sense?
Well, it's usually divided into 2 parts. The first usually is the items which are non-exempted, or.
Well, I can,
Yeah, go ahead.
You
Go
want me
ahead,
to-
Robert.
want me to talk about it?
I've made you research this in the last 2
Sure.
days, so show us what you learned.
So healthy food certification, every school district and Board of Education is required to vote on that. So the first item that Mark talked about, you have no choice, you have to vote yes or no. So if you vote yes, then the second part was related to exemptions, you have to vote on that, it's either yes or no. So of the healthy food certification, 93.6% of all districts vote yes to do that. So why do they do that? We get 10 cents more per reimbursable meal, so the food program gets more money. And the concept is to promote healthier foods. So who doesn't approve, who doesn't vote yes? A district like Darien, which is an extremely wealthy district, they don't wanna follow the school guidelines, they don't wanna be told what they can and can't eat. They want butter on their potatoes, so they don't participate in the school lunch program, they don't get any reimbursement from the government. So that's why the percentage is so small as far as who doesn't vote. So there's different levels of guidelines, there's federal guidelines, then there's state guidelines called this CNS, Connecticut Nutrition Standards. Then we also have to mirror our wellness policy. So the rules are very complex. It's not a simple thing to say, yes, we can do this, and no, we cannot do that. I asked Amber to send all of you homework. You have about 100 pages of stuff related to what we can and cannot eat if you choose to do the exemption. So if you vote to not allow foods that are exempt and we violate that, what is at risk is federal funding of all sorts. You could lose funding. So they do monitor it, we have to fill out reports and so on and so forth. So I have to get some clarification from the Department of Education on some items. They have rules related to food, rules related to snacks, rules related to beverages. Some rules say you can't sell, others say are related to selling and giving. So a question might come up, and if we do a certain thing in an after-school function, could we give pizza? Well, we serve pizza in the school, but pizza isn't pizza. The pizza we serve, we certify that it meets the USDA nutritional guidelines of portion size and so on and so forth. Domino's Pizza doesn't, so if you voted one way, you might or might not be able to serve Domino's Pizza or give it to kids after school. So it's very complex. What is the end of the school day? I have a question on that. Is it the dismissal time, or is it after the extended learning period ends for schools that have extended learning? And that's important because rules kick in based on when the school day begins and ends. And for purposes of the food program, the beginning of the school day starts at midnight before and ends 30 minutes after the end of school. So it's important to know those things. And certain guidelines are you can not serve certain foods that are called competitive foods 30 minutes before a meal time and 30 minutes after, so it has to be outside the window. So NPS has consistently voted not to allow exemptions. So why is that? Well, as I said earlier, you have to match our wellness policy. And when you get into the guidelines, it implies that we don't want to do that. We don't allow exemptions during the school day. So if it was the board's intent to have a wellness policy that restricts these foods during school, one would say, why would you want to allow it 2 hours later? We have language that promotes healthy eating and encourages all these things. So if we do that, why would we want to allow certain beverages? And soda's out completely. So if you have any specific questions prior to the March meeting, if you could send them to me or Amber or someone.
Can I ask a question
You
right
can ask
now?
anything you like.
Cause my biggest concern, my biggest confusion is like, if, say, the Moriarty PTO wants to have a bake sale. That, what, they're not allowed to because they're not healthy items? Nobody's gonna go to a
They-
bake sale wanting
they-
freaking carrot
they-
sticks. They want a
this,
cupcake or a brownie, and that's a way that lots of schools raise funds, and they do those things after school. So I think I think it's like kind of, our job is from when they're in school and when they're with us, but after school, when their parents are with them, if their parents wanna buy them a brownie at a school function, they should be allowed to.
No, unfortunately, that's not how it works, and
I'm seeing that, but I'm saying,
if,
I'm making a point as to why that you're limiting PTOs from raising funds on a simple, cheap fundraiser.
that's why it's important that everyone not vote tonight and have a chance to review these things and ask questions. So to your specific question, Heather, that's been asked by a lot of people, and on page 22 of 60, number 53, here's the example they give.
All right, wait, could you tell me those pages again?
On
'Cause I'm not-
22 of page 60 on questions and answers.
Page 20.
This is one question.
You said page 22?
Yep. A parent group wants to sell foods that do not meet the Connecticut nutritional standards. Example, donuts and coffee cake and beverages that do not meet the statutory requirement. Coffee, tea, and cocoa to parents and students at a meeting that occurs before school. Is this acceptable? No. And it tells you why.
Cause what Moriarty right now has the coffee in the school lines. So, or can they no longer sell coffee in the school drop-off line on Friday mornings?
It
Like
depend-
like these are active fundraisers that schools have been, that parents have stepped up to do, and they just got it started and we're gonna shut it down?
Well, it depends on the circumstances.
I guess
and they-
parents will just have to go to Dunkin', and then Norwich Public Schools loses fundraising money.
well, certain things are allowable and they're not, and this, maybe not every question's answered, but this thing has 105 questions like that people have asked.
I know, but that's something that's currently going on right now, like this is a fundraiser that they've worked very hard to put together, and it's actively going on right now, so
Are
if
they-
we pass
they
this,
selling
we're
it to
gonna
a-
shut them
Are
down.
they selling it to adults?
they're selling it to the pickup line. So if
But
a
it's
parent
being-
wants, if a parent wanted to, they could buy a coffee for their kid. You can't tell them they can't. I mean,
Well, if they're selling it to adults, that's a different.
my son gets dropped off and drinks an entire tea before he goes to school. Why? Because it wakes him up and he does better in school.
But if you have any specific questions like that aren't in here, please let me know and I'll ask, because
So-
every situation is unique and there's definitions of, you know, what is the end of the school day, what does on school premises mean? So like location, if we were having a soccer game, you could serve the beverages out there, but you couldn't do it inside. You couldn't have them come inside and get it because that would be against the rules. It's very complex.
Alright, so I'm just curious, cause like the same thing, like Thursday night, Moriarty's having a kindness dance. I was asked to donate cookies, like, that's not gonna be allowed, that's crazy. After school, it needs to be like,
That's why it's
parents
important
need to be
to know
involved. The right thing, yeah.
before you vote.
That's,
Under one option, you might be able to do that, under the other option, you can't.
So it clarifies all that, Bob, and that, it clarifies whether we can vote yes to no exceptions, but after
The
school.
number two
do-
has, spells out that you're allowing exemptions at events. And an event, they have a definition for an event, like
it's all there,
a soccer game is an event,
it's all there.
a play is an event,
Right, I saw that.
soccer
one.
practice is not.
So that's,
Okay, so we can vote that way.
You can vote that
Yeah,
way,
Very good.
cause technically, you're not in violation of the wellness policy.
Exactly.
If the wellness policy said you can't, then you'd have to change the wellness policy.
gotcha. All right, so this will
It's a
give
lot
us,
it's a lot of stuff.
it's a lot of stuff. Go ahead, Dennis.
On our sheet right here, under 12-3,
Yes,
it says the regular school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day.
Right.
yes.
So if you wanna sell it at the school,
But yeah, but does it
30
include
minutes
the
after the school closes, you're good.
Right, but that's only at certain exempted events. Certain events, you can't sell that.
And it's all defined in the
Yeah.
hand at the
So
bottom.
they
Sounds like
they
it
define
covers
exactly
everything.
which
Yeah.
The
event.
extended
we
school
have-
day, some schools have the extended school day, which goes to like 5 o'clock, and some schools dismiss earlier,
So that's, I need to
that's
get
another
clarification
big
on that.
gray
Well,
area.
Well, at the end
When our
of the
official
school
day
day is what it reads here.
There's,
So whether it's, one school or the other school, there may be a difference in dismissal
Timing.
times.
Regular school day.
but I will find that out specifically. I will
Yeah,
ask
like
that
the extended
specifically.
learning program,
Send it
Yeah.
out.
and at whatever time,
Yeah, I'll
half
get
hour
the
after
answers.
that, they wouldn't be eligible.
Yeah.
And so
As an
this
example,
will be an exercise in who does homework and who was a good student years ago, because we'll find out who has the questions that, but I really, this gives us an opportunity to look at something, that's all.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all it is.
my main question is, if we vote either way, does it put the entire food program at risk
no.
that we might
It
lose?
does not. What puts it at risk is if we don't follow the way you voted.
Right.
So if you vote no exemptions, then there's certain things we cannot do. If you vote that you can, it doesn't open the window to everything. We have to follow what's there. Like, there's a list of the beverage document is 16 pages long. There's 5 categories of beverage. So you just can't
Yeah.
say, okay, we can do any beverage we want.
So you can see why 90% of the schools go the way they go.
Yeah, it's, I don't like it.
All right, so that's where we are with this for right now. We okay with that? I mean, it extends it a month out, but it gives us a chance to get some information that we need.
If you have questions, please send them to me, send them to Amber.
Yeah, I just wanna make
Call
sure
me up.
that we don't lose our free food exemption for all students,
All right,
So this is postponed till
this is next, this is a first reading.
February or March?
March, this is February.
Oh, this is
Isn't it?
February, yeah.
Not for much longer.
Not from,
Tempest
When you
future.
don't get out of-
I know, it's,
When you don't get out of the house for a week because it's cold, you lose track of what you do.
What day it is.
I lose track
Policies
of
in your
time.
packet as well,
Yes,
they lump them all together.
so on to committee reports. Are there any committees that have information that would be pertinent to this meeting at this time? You have the policy committee, the breakdown on all the first reads in the policy committee. Please take a look at those so you're aware of what the policy changes are. Board reports, are there any board reports, any information that the board can use at this time? Nothing. Do I hear a motion for an adjournment?
Second that one.
Two girls. You guys are pretty quick over there, I'll tell you right now.
Didn't even get a word
First
in.
by Alice, second by Heather.
But we
All in
need a
favor?
buzzer. Telepathically connected. Aye.
That was a let's get the hell
That was
out
a
of here.
good one. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. 7:08.